Welcome back to Edge of XG. Today, we are answering one of the most important questions in football analytics. What exactly is expected goals and what is it not? Because a lot of people hear the term XG, see a number on the screen, and immediately jump to the wrong conclusion. Some think XG tells you who deserve to win. Some think XG is just shots on target with a new name. Some think XG can predict the exact final score. And some think it is useless because football is decided by actual goals, not theoretical ones. The truth is much simpler. Expected goals is not a prediction of what must happen. Expected goals is an estimate of how likely a shot was to become a goal. That is the core idea. Every shot in football is not equal. A penalty is not the same as a long-range effort from 30 yards. A one-on-one chance is not the same as a weak header from a crowded corner. A tap-in at the back post is not the same as a speculative effort under pressure. Expected goals tries to measure that difference. So when we say a shot was worth 0.5 xg, that does not mean it counts as half a goal. It means that, on average, a shot from that type of situation would be scored about 50% of the time. If another shot is worth 0.05 xg, that means it would be scored only around 5% of the time. That is all xg is doing. It is assigning a probability to each shot. Then those shot probabilities are added together to produce a team total. So if one team creates chances worth 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, and 0.1, their total expected goals would be 1.0. That does not mean they will score exactly one goal. It means the quality of their chance creation was worth about one expected goal in total. And that is where a lot of confusion begins. Expected goals is not the same thing as actual goals. Actual goals tell you what happened. Expected goals tell you the quality of the chances that were created. Those are related, but they are not identical. A team can score 3 goals from 1.2 xg. A team can score 0 goals from 2.4 xg. Both things happen all the time. That does not mean XG is broken. It means football contains finishing variance, goalkeeping variance, blocks, deflections, pressure, and randomness. That is exactly why XG exists in the first place. It helps separate chance quality from raw scoreboard noise. Now let's make the next part very clear. Expected goals is not a moral verdict. It does not prove that one team deserved to win. That idea is one of the biggest mistakes in football discussion. If Team A posts 2.1 xg and Team B posts 0.8 xg, all we can say is that Team A created the better set of chances on average. We cannot automatically say they deserve the result. Why? Because football is not only about shot quality. It is also about finishing, defensive execution, goalkeeper performance, game state, tactical trade-offs, and how teams choose to manage risk. A team may create fewer chances because they are protecting a lead. A team may run up xg while chasing late in the game. A team may produce one huge chance and waste it, while the other team scores from a lower quality but well-executed attack. So XG is a useful lens. It is not the full story. Another common mistake is treating XG like a score prediction. That is also wrong. If a team is projected for 1.8 XG, that does not mean the final score will be 2 goals. It means that over many matches with the same shot profile, that team would average around 1.8 goals. But football is not played over many repetitions in real life. It is played once. That means a 1.8 xg team can score 0, 1, 2, 3, or even 4. The xg number is about the underlying process, not the exact final outcome. That distinction matters, because if you use xg correctly, it becomes a very strong tool. If you use it incorrectly, it becomes a source of bad arguments. So what is xg actually good for? First, it is good for measuring chance quality better than raw shot count. 10 weak shots are not the same as 2 clear chances. Second, it is useful for evaluating team performance over time. Goals can be noisy in small samples. Expected goals often gives a cleaner view of whether a team is consistently creating good situations or allowing dangerous ones. Third, it is useful for comparing attack and defense profiles. Some teams score a lot but create less than people think. Some teams do not score much but keep producing dangerous positions. Some defenses look solid on the scoreboard but allow too many good chances underneath. Fourth, it is useful for forecasting when used as one part of a bigger model. That is important. One part of a bigger model, not the whole model by itself, because XG alone is not enough. That leads to the next question. What is XG not measuring well? Expected goals does not fully capture everything that happens before the shot. A brilliant passing move, a devastating transition, or sustained territorial pressure may not look huge in the final XG total if the final shot is poor. On the other hand, a messy scramble can generate a high XG shot even if the team did not dominate the game. Expected goals also does not fully capture player-specific finishing skill in a simple headline number. Elite finishers do exist. Elite goalkeepers do exist. Shot placement matters. Pressure matters. Body shape matters. Some models include more detail than others, but the public XG number you usually see on screen is still a simplification. And that is fine, as long as you treat it like a tool and not like a religion. Now let's talk about a few statements that sound smart but are actually wrong. The first one is this: they had higher XG, so they should have won. Not necessarily. Higher XG means they created the better chances overall. It does not guarantee the result. The second wrong statement is this: they had low XG, so their win was lucky. Not always. A team can finish well, defend well, and manage a match intelligently. Low XG does not automatically make a win fake. The third wrong statement is this: XG is useless because the actual score was different. That misses the whole point. The job of XG is not to copy the scoreboard. The job of XG is to describe chance quality underneath the scoreboard. If it matched the score perfectly every time, it would not be measuring probability. It would just be restating the result. Now here is the most useful way to think about XG. Expected goals is a process metric. Goals are an outcome metric. Process helps you understand whether the underlying performance is stable. Outcome tells you what actually happened on the day. The best analysis uses both. If a team keeps winning while posting weak XG numbers, that may be a warning sign. If a team keeps losing while posting strong XG numbers, that may suggest improvement is more likely than the table implies. But again, context matters. Maybe the team has terrible finishing. Maybe the goalkeeper is weak. Maybe the defensive structure breaks down under pressure. Maybe the shot map is inflated by low-value volume late in games. There is one more limitation that always needs to be kept in mind. Expected goals can also be distorted by match state. An early red card can completely change the flow of a game. A strong team that takes an early lead may become more conservative, protect space, and finish the match with lower attacking numbers than its true underlying strength would normally suggest. A team that falls behind may be forced into more shots, more territory, and more late attacking volume, which can inflate its expected goals without necessarily meaning it was the stronger side overall. So when reading XG, score effects, red cards, and game state should always be considered before drawing a final conclusion about team strength. So the smartest use of XG is never isolated use. It should sit inside a wider framework. That wider framework can include recent form, shot suppression, home advantage, tactical style, finishing efficiency, defensive efficiency, injuries, scheduling pressure, and market pricing. That is where XG becomes powerful, not as a magic answer, but as a strong input. So let's end with the clean definition. Expected goals is a probability-based estimate of the quality of scoring chances. It is not a final score prediction. It is not a guarantee. It is not proof of who deserved to win. It is not the whole match. It is not a replacement for context. It is a tool for understanding how dangerous the chances were. And when you understand that properly, a lot of football starts to look clearer. You stop reacting only to the scoreboard. You start looking at the structure underneath it. And that is where better analysis begins. If you want more football analytics content built around expected goals, power rankings, match probabilities, fair odds, and model-based insights across multiple leagues, subscribe to Edge of XG. Let's keep going.